reflection. Thank you, Mr. Chair. These are indeed historic times. The decisions and choices made in this room over the next few weeks will have important implications for years and decades to come. The negotiation for international arms trade treaty seemed unthinkable just a few short years ago. Now, by contrast, it seems unthinkable that we are until now live without a common set of obligatory standards for decision-making on arms transfers and proper regulation of international trade in conventional arms, which are a major cause of more than 500,000 deaths and 27 million people displaced from armed conflicts and persecution a year. Millions more are injured, brutally repressed, raped or denied the right to education, health and freedom of expression because of armed conflicts, armed violence and human rights violations using conventional arms. At last, government have an opportunity in this conference to make a principled agreement to ensure the achievement of what we at Amnesty International and other campaigners in the Global Control Arms Coalition are describing as a bulletproof arms treaty. This can and must be a treaty which will actually save countless lives and where obligations sit fair and square with government. This treaty must not allow its rule to be discretionary, where those rules reflect existing obligations of states under international law. Otherwise, it will quickly become discredited in the eyes of world public opinion. Decisions by government to transfer arms internationally must be made more responsible and accountable, while the regulation regarding the transfers must be much more robust and rigorously enforced. The UN General Assembly rightly called for a strong and robust treaty with the highest possible common international standards, and that is what we, in other words, you, must achieve. Above all, it is essential that rules are put in place which can prevent the international transfer of conventional arms or ammunition, where there is the likelihood the arms will be used to commit or facilitate serious human rights violations without which the treaty will seem to be not effective. It is essential that states take responsibility for all aspects of international trade and transfers, that the scope of the treaty is comprehensive, and that control mechanisms are robust. Delegates will naturally be eager to seek consensus in the weeks to come. That is what the negotiation is all about. But I would urge delegates not to be held hostage to those who wish to dilute the treaty so that its provisions become meaningless. A treaty which includes weapons and guns but does not include bullets and munitions would simply be perverse. A treaty which suggests compliance with certain agreed international standards but does not make those standards mandatory would be a suicide for failure. Unless a treaty is clear in its requirement, those who wish to find loopholes will always succeed in doing so. Thus, for example, the idea that gifts of arms between states or armed groups can be exempt from the treaty would be little short of prospective. A number of key principles are essential to guide our efforts. First, we need a treaty which has clear humanitarian and human rights goals. The treaty must faithfully reflect existing international human rights law and international humanitarian law, including all the prohibitions on the killing of non-combatants and many other clearly defined responsibilities. Second, we need a treaty of comprehensive scope covering all types of arms and all types of transfers. The arms rights treaty must include the full range of conventional arms, including all weapons, munitions, armaments, and related articles used in military and internal security operations. The international transfer of parts, components, and technology to make and assemble arms is increasing, so the treaty must cover those if it is not to be outdated before it even starts. It will include guns, but not the bullets they fire at their human targets would make a mockery of the treaty and its intention in the eyes of the world opinion. The treaty must include all forms of international trade and transfers, and to be effective require regulation of arms brokering and arms transportation. Third, the treaty must have rigorous criteria in its assessment procedures. It must recognize the existing obligation under international law not to authorize transfers that would violate arms embargoes and other obligations. It must also explicitly recognize the principle of due diligence, the obligation to assess the risk associated with the proposed trade or transfer. The risk of every international transfer must be rigorously assessed before any decision is taken. In particular, there should be no violation of the existing obligation to ensure that international trade and transfer of arms do not contribute to or facilitate serious breaches of international humanitarian law or international human rights. These and other existing responsibilities, which are currently framed as a general principle, must be crystallized and made concrete with respect to the trade and transfer of conventional arms. Where there is a substantial risk that an international transfer of arms will be used for a serious violation of international humanitarian law or international human rights law, states must ensure that no transfer takes place until there is a clear evidence that the risk has been sufficiently mitigated. We call this the golden rule of human rights. Fourth, the treaty must contribute to increase transparency and promote confidence in shared security based on international law. There should be annual, comprehensive, and public reports by each state. These could cover all trade and transfer covered by the scope of the Arms Treaty. The reports should also cover reports on progressive national implementation on arms trade treaty obligations, including effective national control systems with verifiable end-use controls and report keeping for at least 20 years. Over the years, the skeptics said to us that the very idea of an ATT was unthinkable. Your presence in this room has already proved them wrong. Millions will live to thank you if you keep a sense of vision, determination, and humanity in your deliberation in the few weeks to come. I thank you for your